Now, the latest in Trojan sports on Troy Trojan Vision News.
Are you ready for some Trojan action? Well, you don't have to wait much longer. The Troy volleyball team hosts its first home game of this season tonight in Trojan Arena at 6 p.m. The Trojans are currently 1-2 after a 3-game series last weekend in Tennessee, and tonight's matchup will be against Southeastern Louisiana. The Lions hold a 6-1 series lead over Troy and defeated the Trojans in the last meeting between the two schools last year. The Troy football team welcomed the reigning Sun Belt Conference champions Arkansas State to Veterans Memorial Stadium on Saturday. And with both teams being undefeated, the Trojans had a lot at stake. But it was the Red Wolves who took the victory 35-3.
Thought they outcoached us, outplayed us. Thought they were mentally and physically tougher than us. We did not do a good job as a football program, as coaches included, of drowning out the noise. And I told you that on Monday. Can we drown out the noise? And tonight's the first time we have not answered the bell all season. And at the end of the day, we're 8-2, and we got one conference loss. And we've got to put it to bed and come back and regroup.
The Trojans' intensity level didn't match up to Arkansas State's, but players tell me this game doesn't make or break them, and it was a huge learning point for the season.
I mean, this game is over. It's behind me as of now. I'm pretty sure it's behind the rest of the guys as well. We probably start tomorrow focusing on Texas State.
The Trojans scored its only 3 points of the game on a 43-yard field goal kicked by Ryan Kay in the first quarter. Coach Brown says he was not pleased with how his team reacted in the second half, but they will prepare better for the next one and focus on finishing the season strong.
We're not going to handle adversity like we handle adversity in the second half. That's not what we're going to be about as a football program. That's not what our guys are going to represent.
And although the team was ranked in the top 25 before the loss, quarterback Brandon Silvers says,
this team knows what's at stake. We know we have to win. We know we're already bowl eligible. We're obviously not ranked no more, but we still got to win the last 2 games. It gets to 10-2.
The last time Troy did not score a touchdown in a game was last year against Wisconsin. But on the other hand, the Trojans have a chance to dish out a win Thanksgiving weekend against Texas State. Rachael Wilkerson, Troy, Trojan Vision Sports. Last night, the Trojan Arena was filled with madness. Trojan madness, that is. Both basketball teams held the event to give fans a chance to have some fun with the players before the start of the season. And besides everyone's favorite free t-shirts and pizza, activities included
3-point shootout, dunk contest, we got half-court shooting from the fans, a lot of different things.
Doing a 3-point contest, it made me feel good because I had a lot of people screaming for me.
And not only did she win over the crowd, but
I beat all the boys.
With the season opener being around the corner, Trojan Madness fueled both teams for what is to come.
Just got me geared up, getting ready for next week for our first game. I think we got a new team, a lot of new players. We're going to win a lot of games, and hopefully we get some new faces out here in the stands to support us.
And that confidence continues for the women. The Lady Trojans were picked to win the Sun Belt Conference again this year, and Banks is sure her team will.
I'm looking forward to another winning season and winning the Sun Belt Conference Championship against her, and then get to the NCAA again and get further.
The women's basketball team will tip off in Trojan Arena November 1st for its exhibition game. The men will head to AUM to play in theirs November 3rd. Rachael Wilkerson, Troy, Trojan Vision News. The Trojan volleyball team turned its season around with a win over South Alabama last night in Trojan Arena. Troy lost the first set against the Jaguars, but with help from a large crowd and motivation from teammates, the Trojans came back strong to win 3 matches in a row.
It's been a long time since we've had the joy of winning a match, and the team has put in the work. We've just had some unlucky breaks. I thought they really played well tonight. I thought they really started seeing the fruits of their labor. It was a total team win. They played hard every ball. And that's all we've asked them to do.
The Trojans broke their 16-game losing streak, and in what better way than against rival South Alabama?
It felt so good. That's our biggest rivalry, and it was so just great. The energy on the court was so big, and we just played really well and meshed as a team for the first time in a while, and it was the best feeling.
The win was also the first conference win for the Trojans, and Kirkpatrick is proud of the way his team performed.
We played really well. We passed really well in serve receive, and offensively we put balls away.
And the difference in this game was?
We didn't dwell on the mistakes. We made a mistake and we were on to the next play, and That's the mental toughness that we need to be able to get and keep on a roll.
Troy will now turn around and play 2 more games this weekend. And with only a few days of preparation, Kirkpatrick says they've done it before.
It's a little bit of a time crunch, but we've had to do it earlier in the year. So we're honestly just concentrating on app right now. We're going to break down film tonight and tomorrow and try to get the team as ready as we can.
Both games will be at 6 p.m. in Trojan Arena. Rachael Wilkerson, Troy, Trojan Vision Sports. The Trojan volleyball team will begin its season in less than 2 weeks. But before the Trojans compete against University of South Carolina Upstate, they'll get to have a little fun and face off against older Trojans in Saturday's alumni game. Fans, are you ready to hear about what's going on in the sports world? Well, the Troy football team has played 2 physical 4-hour games against some tough teams and weather conditions with almost 500 plays in 2 weeks. But all of the physical action has paid off after battling against Clemson and Southern Mississippi, and head coach Neil Brown says that the team has definitely built its confidence. But the biggest thing now is to keep the Trojans healthy for conference play this weekend against New Mexico State.
Conference opener, New Mexico State. Excited about starting this conference season at home. We talked about 3 preseason games. We're sitting here 2-1 with a near defeat to Clemson. So proud of how our guys performed in the preseason, and it's time to play the games they're going to count.
The Trojans will kick off against the Aggies at 6 p.m. in Veterans Memorial Stadium. The Trojan volleyball team is now on a 4-game home opening winning streak after they dominated on the court, defeating Southeastern Louisiana last night in Trojan Arena. The arena was full of eager fans, and head coach Sonny Kirkpatrick says that it's always special playing at home. The Trojans started the game strong with a 29-14 lead, but they just couldn't keep the momentum going.
We led this game. We had a lead early on. I thought we were fresh. It was from a mental standpoint now.
Troy put 4 shots on goal, but couldn't find the back of the net for just the 3rd time in the last 20 games. Trojan senior Mickey Lewis had 6 saves in the game, her highest total of the season. Troy is now 4-3 and will hit the road on Friday to compete against Mercer. The Troy volleyball team had a lot of action over the weekend as they hosted the Trojan Invitational. Troy dominated on Friday as they sweep Southern Louisiana 3-0. Later that night, the Trojans rallied back and forth against Valparaiso but couldn't keep the momentum going and fell short 3-1. The tournament wrapped up on Saturday as defending WAC champion New Mexico State defeated the Trojans 3-0. Both Valparaiso and New Mexico State were top 100 teams. And head coach Sonny Kirkpatrick says the team made plays, but in order to reach the next level, they have to figure out how to beat the tougher teams. And what better way than to play them?